Can y'all hear me?
Some more food?
I'm good. It was amazing. Be careful. Ada. Edith, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm waiting to see if we have any other folks show up.
Okay.
We may not. I scanned the pages that I want us to use tonight.
Okay.
Color. I know you'll be excited. Have you had a good week?
Yes, thank you.
Testing, 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 testing. I think that's better. It was really loud. I'm waiting for our other fella to see if he's going to show up. Nothing like potato chips for supper.
Yeah.
I see that little one in the back. She looks like she's eating pretty good.
Yeah. Say hi, yourself.
Oh, mercy. She's getting out of Dodge.
Yeah.
She told me she doesn't have to do what you say. She said it in sign language.
Yeah. Dame una botella de agua.
Where does she go to school at?
Joe Burns.
No Burns. So she does
Yes.
it with Mr. Haynes and all them.
Yeah.
Miss Goose Tree.
Yes.
You ride a bus,
No, she's car rider.
or you take her back and forth?
Yes.
Going or riding the bus is a whole lot cooler, though.
I know, yeah, but I have to go work, so the bus come a little late, so I go to the school and take her and then go to work.
How does she ride back home with you?
No, she's going to a after school program, so they come and pick it up her.
Okay.
And then when I get off work, I come and pick up her.
Well, I don't see Angie, but they almost always start.
Okay.
I don't know how your classes started before, but I can say my group, it was almost always 6:45 before anybody showed up. I may have to
Show up.
everybody, we may start at 6:45, but because that's what we. Textbook, I copied that to try to scan it, hoping it will be easier if you can see what I'm seeing,
Mm-hmm.
because it's hard for me if I can't. I need to see, but I'm also not a PowerPoint person either, so. He put all this up on the screen, but she just sits right in here where I'm at, so she can see what we're doing. Let's see if anybody in WhatsApp said, are they coming? It says ELL teachers. Walking by, he wants to be seen. He says, I need everybody to know that I'm the head of this house. I'm walking around, I want everybody to know it. Look at him, he's gonna hide his face. He says, this guy's pointing us all out. Let's see here. Can you see that?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to tell Miss Judy to send me more of these so that it'll make it easier.
Yeah.
Trying to see if anybody else is, because the last time we didn't let that poor fella in. What was his name? Alberto
Enrique.
Enrique.
Yeah.
He just his real name.
Yeah.
Albert Endrila or something.
Mm. I think somebody is trying to write me. Hmm?
Judy is typing.
Mm.
Okay, okay. What new students do I have, Judy? Okay. Now we got to do the access code, which was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Mm. It's the, you just used the same link, did you not? It's the same link from week.
Yes. I think we're going to start, and then if anybody else shows up, it's 6:45. So we'll make the best of it. Let me share Okay.
our screen here. I'm going to share if you see somebody trying to get in.
Okay.
No, I don't think we will, or get a text message. So the first thing I want to share, we always do a little scripture study. So if you would like, I'll let you read tonight. And it's titled Captain of the Storm. So if you would like to read that, I will let you start that. And then if you have a word you don't understand, I'll be happy to help you with that. How's that sound?
Ah, okay. I will try.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. And if I need to make it bigger, I don't know if I can.
No, it's fine. I can see it. Oh, yeah, like that is fine.
So I'm ready when you are.
Okay. Captain of the storm. Jesus had been helping people all day and now he was tired. The sun was going down and the air was warm and still. Jesus told his disciples,
Disciples.
let's disciples, let's go across Lake Kinneret, also know also known as the Sea of Galilee. Galilee. They left the crowds at the shore and set out in a small fishing boat. Jesus climbed into the boat and thought he would take a nap. He was so tired that as soon as his head lay down, he was fast asleep. It was a beautiful evening. A gentle breeze rustled the sails of the boat. The, the disciples,
Disciples.
disciples
Uh-huh.
were happily talking with each other about what they had witnessed and learned they had they headed out into the middle of the Sea of Galilee.
Galilee. Uh-huh.
Galilee. Everything seems perfect, just right for a nice quiet sail in the moonlight night. They
Okay.
were about halfway. Hi here. Hi, where am I? They were about halfway across the Sea of Galilee, about 6 miles, when out, out of nowhere, just like many other times in their lives, the once quiet sea started having, I, I
Hold
don't
on.
know how to say that.
Hold on. Where are we? Just the once quiet sea started having whirling winds and fierce, strong hurricane-like winds began to blow.
Okay. A blinding flash of lightning light up the night sky, and then loud cracks of thunder could be heard. The storm blew the water into towering.
The storm blew the water into towering waves. So they're really tall,
Okay.
like a big skyscraper. They tower over the city, towering,
Uh-huh.
towering waves.
Towering wave. And hurled the little boat up.
And
Boat, boat.
hurled. So hurled the little boat. That's like you just throw something. So just imagine that the wave picked up the boat and it's throwing it across the sea like it's just a puppet.
Okay. Okay. The scent, then sent in hurling, crashing back down into the sea. The little fishing boat, I don't know, I'm confusing.
Well, I can read for
Yeah, please.
I'll read some. I just think it's good for you guys to read and see the words. If there's a word you do not understand, let me know. So it says the little
Okay.
fishing boat was blown and buffeted and tossed and turned back and forth, up and down, left and right, and round and round. In the middle of all the noise and dangers of the storm, Jesus continued peacefully sleeping through it all. Can you imagine sleeping through a terrible storm like that? I don't know that I could handle it. I'd probably
I
be on
don't know
the other
either.
side of the ship throwing up.
Yeah.
Many of Jesus's disciples had been fishermen all their lives and knew how quickly the Sea of Galilee could change from calm to disastrous. So from calm where it's peaceful to disastrous where it's just chaos. Even though they had been fishing there all their lives, they had never seen a storm as fierce as this one. No matter how hard they struggled with their ropes and sails, they couldn't control the little boat. This particular storm was just too big for their experiences. There was one person the storm was not too big for, though. They knew if they went to Jesus for help, he could do something to calm their fears and help them. Help! They all screamed, "Wake up! Quick! Jesus!" Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Jesus opened his eyes. "Rescue us! Save us!" They all shirked with fear, which means they were scared. They were trembling. "Oh no! Don't you care about us?" That was the question they asked Jesus. Little did they realize just how much Jesus cared. And this was the very reason he had come, to rescue them and to save them. Jesus stood up and looked around at his disciples after a whole day of performing miracles, which they had personally witnessed. Didn't they realize that this storm was nothing to the Lord or Jesus? Jesus then turned to them and said, "O you of little faith, why are you so afraid?" He got up and he rebuked the wind and the waves by lifting up his hands and saying, "Hush!" Can you imagine? Can you imagine the power to
Yeah.
command all of that? Hush! The strangest thing happened all at once. Everything, I mean everything, became completely calm. The wind and the waves recognized the voice of Jesus. And they listened to Jesus and they did exactly what he said. Immediately, the wind stopped and the waters calmed down. It glittered innocently in the moonlight and began to quietly lap against the sides of the boat. Lap means just to barely rub up against the boat, as if nothing had ever happened. The little boat bobbed gently up and down. There was a deep stillness and a great quiet all around them. Then Jesus turned to his disciples and again said to them, "Why were you scared?" He asked. "Did you forget who I am? Did you believe your fears instead of me?" Jesus' disciples were quiet as if they were children again, being disciplined by their parents. Into their hearts then came a different kind of storm. "What kind of man is this?" they asked themselves anxiously. "Even the winds and the waves obey him," they said, because they still didn't understand. They didn't realize yet that Jesus was the Son of God. They were hoping he was, but were not yet convinced beyond a doubt he was who he was. Jesus' disciples had been so afraid that they had only seen the big waves. They had forgotten that if Jesus was with them, they had nothing of which to be afraid. That scripture that says that Jesus be for us, who can be against us? That's what comes to my mind. Um, Either way, we have the same calm assurance in today's times. No matter how big the storm of life, Jesus is there with us to calm our fears. Just put your faith and your trust in him, and he will take care of you. And there's two little pictures there. I like this picture of Jesus and the boat being tossed around and hurled and all those other things that were just used to describe what it was like. And then look at that little peaceful state. I just think it's wonderful. Uh,
Yeah.
so there's um, our little scripture study, or our little whatever you call it. Let's go to our other book. This should be fun tonight. Ah, so it turned out pretty good. So this is
Mm-hmm.
where we are in our textbook. So I believe it's
Yes.
page 5. We finished the other day. We didn't really finish that one section where we were supposed to talk about completing conversations. We did not do that. Um, but we'll start with this other. So it says in the neighborhood, what do you see in this picture? What do you see
Mm,
in this picture?
well, I see people.
Are you serious? Are there people in there? Hold on, let
Yes.
me look. Oh yeah, I see a few. Hey, what's this thing right here? This guy's got hanging around him.
Oh, yeah. They are musicians.
Is that an accordion?
Yes.
That is an accordion. My grandma used to play the accordion.
Mm,
So you say you see people. Anything else you see? Does it look like this is a city or maybe a
yes.
small town?
Yes.
I think it looks like a city. Just looking at these big uh, buildings, they're pretty tall, and then that big
Yeah.
sign right there certainly makes everybody look at it. And then I see this thing right here. What is that? That looks like, what kind of tree is that?
Oh.
A palm tree. So that would
Yes.
indicate that they're somewhere where it's warm. Would you not agree?
Yes.
Um, of course, it's just you and I, and we don't either one of us live in the same neighborhood. We do live in the same county. So the idea is here we're looking at the city. So this is a big city. So we're both close to Springfield. So that would be the one thing we share in common. Uh, and we're close to Nashville. We live in Tennessee, but your little city's a little different than mine. You come into Springfield, it's significantly more populated than out there in Joe Burns.
Yes.
Um, the most exciting thing I ever see in Joe Burns is a tobacco barn smoking.
Yeah, that's right.
So either way, we're going to move on to the other here. And so the title of this section says, in the neighborhood. So where did you say you were from?
Mexico?
Mexico. And you said you're living in Joe Burns now. And
Mm-hmm.
what would you say your neighborhood is like?
Well, it's a small, quiet.
Community?
Yeah, we got a little community.
Okay,
Not
but two
that
big
much
schools.
people. Yeah.
Two big schools. So here are our unit goals. It says here, make small talk will be one of our goals. Talk about life in the United States or the U.S. It's an abbreviation. Talk about holidays and celebrations. Follow a recipe and handle food safely. And compare your life now and in the past.
Okay.
So that's just a little bit about what it says we're supposed to be learning about. So let's go to, and you have the benefit of seeing both pages, whereas I can only see the one page, okay?
Yes.
You will have your book there where you can see both pages.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing here says, which countries uh, on the map do you recognize? So if you're looking at that map, Edith, are there any countries that stand out to you that you say, hey, I know what that one is, but I don't know what this one is?
Yeah.
So which ones do you recognize?
Well, United States, Mexico, Canada, Alaska.
So is Alaska, is it a country
Well, I don't know.
or is it part of the United States?
I don't know.
So it's part of the United States. So Alaska, see
Oh,
how
yeah?
see this line in the border?
Uh-huh.
This is all Canada, but this one section belongs to the United States.
Oh, okay.
So Alaska is part of the United States.
Wow, I don't know that.
It's a very cold place to be.
Yeah. Well, I
For
love it.
real. For real. And I don't like the cold.
I love cold.
Oh, I don't like being cold. I don't like being hot either, but at least
Yeah.
at least if it's cold, you can put on lots of layers. If
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
warm, you can only take so much off and be appropriate or decent, you know.
Yeah.
So you recognize a few places here on the map. So let's go through and try to, excuse me, let's go and try to name a few of these tonight. So on the map, what would we say number 2? We said 2 is Canada, correct?
Mm,
I mean, 2 is Mexico.
No. Yeah, Mexico.
So this is Mexico, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
what's this little tiny city right here? This little tiny state or country? See right here?
Item is El Salvador.
Are you sure?
Not sure, but I
El
think so.
Salvador. That is El Salvador. It's a tiny little
Yeah.
place. Uh, okay, so we found El Salvador. So let's go to number 3. What do we think number 3 is?
Hmm.
It's in which continent? Would that be
South America.
so South America, North America, and so starts with the C.
Colombia.
Colombia. Very good.
Mm,
Very
okay.
good. And 4, which is right below it, what is this city? Or I should say country.
Oh, yeah, country.
Colombia. I think this is Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Is that correct? You can mark them in your book too when you're
Yeah.
going along so you know. So number 5, if we were trying to figure out what number 5 was, what would we say this is? This is a pretty famous country. Starts with a P. And we can turn to page 276 and 277 if you need help identifying the actual country. And that'll be in the back of your book. Because they've got a map back there that would allow you to see.
Oh yeah, I remember. I see it somewhere. Mm-hmm.
And since it's just
Okay.
I mean, you get.
Oh,
you
it's
get
Peru.
we may have somebody else joining.
Oh
iPhone
yeah.
joined. It may be Enrique.
Yes, maybe.
If it's Enrique, we're going to make him do all the rest of the teaching. Enrique,
Hey, how are you?
we just did not know if you were going to make it tonight.
I tried to do my best. I just got off on from work. Then I'm cooking my dinner. I'm starving.
You're cooking.
Yeah.
You didn't cook us nothing. We're both sitting over here. Our stomachs are gnawing on our backbone. So we're on. So I've got my little page up. So we're on page 6 in your your little workbook or textbook that you've got.
Okay.
I've tried to scan the pages, so we'll go through about 7 pages tonight. So what we're doing here is trying to identify countries without having to go and look it up in the back of the book. If we need to, we will, but we're trying to do it without the assistance in the back of the book. But it does say if you need help, we can go there as a guiding tool. So we were on number 5, and we were trying to figure out what South American country is number 5.
Oh.
And here's your list of countries over here. See, these are all of our countries that we get to choose from.
Oh, okay. I believe it's Peru. No. Well, yeah, Peru.
Peru.
Yes.
Very good. So number 6, I think all of us know 6. It's a
Yeah,
big
Brazil.
country.
Brazil, yes.
Brazil. I mean, it is humongous,
Yeah.
to say the least. Uh, so up here at the top of the page, it's got some numbers here. So 7, 8, and 9. So let's look at 7. This is a little tiny country. It looks like it's a European country. So what do we think 7 is? That's not probably a country that most of us would know.
I don't see in my let me take my books because I can read the whole list that you have there. Hold on.
Oh,
So,
I
because
can
I'm
tell
saying
you-
I'm cooking,
I
I'm in
can
the
tell you
kitchen.
the answer's up here. It's in one of these first few. Not gonna
Yeah.
tell you which one.
I think I don't know if it's a Portugal or I
Bosnia?
don't know.
It's which?
No,
Bosnia?
well, go ahead.
Bosnia. That's Bosnia. So if you ever
Oh.
hear them talk about the bombings in Bosnia, there's Bosnia right there. If we go up here to this next country, 8, this is a country, I'll give you a hint, it was ravaged by the Germans during World War II, Nazi Germany. So there were a lot of Jewish people that lived here, and it starts with a P.
Hmm.
Pen.
Huh.
With a B?
B?
Well,
Vietnam? The only one.
which one you asking?
Right here. Number 8,
Oh.
Number 8. I don't know.
it's a European country, it's Poland.
Poland. Oh, okay.
Poland. Oh, with
Remember-
B. Okay.
Mhm. Remember the Germans came in and just ransacked the Poland. So you had a lot of Jews, the Polish Jews,
Yeah.
from what memory serves me right. Because if you look right, so you got Poland, and then this country right here next to it, see, is Germany. See how big Germany is on the map? You see where I'm highlighting that little section? That's Germany.
Okay.
So let's go to number 9. Here's another. So this is a country that would have had a pretty rough time too, and it starts with a U.
Ukraine.
Ukraine, correct. And so the Ukrainians, their country borders Russia, as you can see on the big map, or pretty close to Russia. So they would be accustomed to communism, if memory serves me right. I'm not a world historian, so well, I can't show you on the map. So number 11, I can't see it because when I copied this, it didn't work right. So 11 somewhere over here in the African continent. Do we know what country that is?
Cambodia, maybe. I don't know.
So Sudan. So
Oh,
that would be-
Sudan.
So the 11 is Sudan, and 12, which is right next to it. So number 12, which is right next to it, is Ethiopia. And you see a lot of pictures of Ethiopians on the news.
Hmm.
There's the first section of that. So let's go over to the other side. And for me, I have multiple pages to look at. So I'm going to take the list away. Y'all got your book to look at the list. But
Okay.
number 10 right here, what would 10 be?
Russia.
Russia. Russia. That is a communist country. Not really. Well, let me rephrase it. They're socialists. A little different. Not a place that, well, I wouldn't be excited to live there, but maybe other people would. 13. So we look at 13.
China.
That's a big powerhouse. That's probably the oldest empire in the world. China's big. Just look at all that.
Yeah.
Huge. And what do we think 14 would be then? This is the one we see on the news all the time.
Philippines.
No,
No.
14.
Or maybe South Korea.
South Korea, and then this, of course, is right where my little pointer is at. Do y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
So this is South. This is North Korea. This little small country is causing a lot of havoc around the world, you know, because they're doing a lot of nuclearization and testing of nuclear bombs and whatnot. So there's some leeriness, and probably rightly so. If we look over here at number 18, what do we think that's called?
18.
Philippines.
That's a bunch of islands. Yes, the Philippine Islands.
Philippines. Mm-hmm.
And 15, we look at 15 here. This country, it's in brown. See it?
Vietnam. I don't know.
Starts with an L.
Laos.
Laos. Very good. 16.
Oh.
Someone already said it earlier. We had a big war there.
Vietnam.
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 Yeah.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
We killed a lot of men in that war, both Vietnamese and Americans and other countries. And then, of course, let's go to 17, another big country. Starts with a C.
Cambodia.
Cambodia. Very good.
Which one? Which one? What number?
17 is Cambodia. So you'd be
I'm
able to
missing
write
one. What is Bosnia?
So Bosnia is number 7.
Number 7.
Seven.
Oh, okay.
We,
And
yeah.
El Salvador is number 1.
1. Mm-hmm.
El Salvador is this little tiny thing.
Oh no, Mexico is number 2. Okay, got it.
You got El Salvador and Costa Rica, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nicaragua. All that stuff is right in this area.
Yes.
So pretty, I would say, I don't want to say it's unstable. I think of Honduras as a pretty rough place to be, or at least from the students that I've talked to that are from that country, they talk about a lot of violence there. El Salvador, not so much, but Honduras, I've not ever heard a lot of good from that. I can't say much about Guatemala because I don't know a lot of students from there. So my knowledge of that's always what kids tell me, because they oftentimes will give you a very clear picture, whereas as adults sometimes we skew or we're a little biased one way or the other, especially if that's your own country. You might tell something a little differently than what a child will. So either way, we know, so Edith, your country is number 2 on the map.
Mm-hmm.
So we determined that. And Colombia, we did talk about Colombia today. And it's a big country right here. And that's where Enrique's from, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's a big old country. So either way, so it's nice to be able to say we know what each of your, we at least know where you are in the world. Enrique's a long way from home. I mean, Mexico is just pretty much a right next door neighbor. Come and go as please there. So what languages do you guys, it says to ask you what languages you speak. Both of you speak Spanish, but I wonder, Enrique, in Colombia, do y'all speak the same dialect of Spanish that they would in Mexico?
No, not 100%. What are you doing?
So it's just a little different. So you can say something in Spanish that she might not understand?
Maybe. Yes. I think so, yeah. You think? Ready? It's ready if you want to eat. Okay. I thought you were going to say.
I hear they saying food's ready. Yum, yum. She's making all of us hungry. All right. So we talked about languages. We're talking about countries tonight. So let's go from there. What we didn't talk about are the languages that are spoken in many of these countries. So in China, of course, we know they speak Chinese. We know there are multiple dialects of Chinese, and it's a pretty difficult language to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Colombia, Ecuador, El Salvador, Mexico, I would say that most of those are Hispanic speaking, although it may be different dialects. Even Peru would probably have a different dialect. The Russians, of course, we know they speak Russian. That is a huge country. Russia is ginormous. Just look at this thing. It's as big as the United States, as big as China. Most of it, though, is cold year round, which I found out today. Edith loves the cold. The
Yes.
colder, the better. So, either way, let's see where the Polish people would speak Polish or German. They may speak Sprechen Sie Deutsch, not sure, depending on where they are. I would say they probably either speak High German or Low German. The Ukrainians will probably speak some type of Ukrainian or Russian. Vietnamese will speak the Vietnamese language, which will be very similar to the Korean language and the Chinese language. Not easy languages to learn. So we really just make sure we recognize that when we go to different countries, just like being in the United States, we have to learn their language. But again, I think that our language is probably, in comparison, one of the most difficult to learn in the world. So let's go down here. So I'm having to read through some of this because we can't write it on the board. And I can't really walk around and help students because there's nobody to walk around and talk to. What I would say is if there's something that you see throughout this process, if you need to translate it into your own language, it may help you to remember new words along the way. You use this strategy to remember other new vocabulary words. Oh, excuse me. So let's look here. Let's go. So A. So let's do section A on, so we're gonna, this section here, we're gonna do that. And we'll put some folks on the spot tonight. So it says here, wordplay groups, which we can't really do groups, match the countries to their most common languages. So over here it's gonna tell you, so in Brazil, we already know that the Brazilians speak what?
Portuguese.
Portuguese. Very good. So in China, what would they speak? And although I said
Chinese.
Chinese, but what's the technical term for that?
Mandarin.
Mandarin.
Mandarin, yes. And so that's a hard language to learn. In Peru, what would they speak?
Spanish.
Spanish.
Yes.
The Philippines, what would they speak?
Filipino.
Filipino. Okay. In Poland, what would they speak?
Poland. Polish.
Polish, very much. Although, like I said earlier, if you were to go to Poland, a lot of those folks can probably speak German very well.
Oh, yes, I know. I have a friend, he's from Ukraine, and he speaks 5 languages.
Well, we're
Russian, Ukraine, English, Poland, and something else. Yeah.
So Polish. And then what about Vietnam? What would they speak there?
Oh, I don't know.
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, yeah.
Interesting. So now we get to the meeting. So we get to read a paragraph tonight. Edith has read already, so I won't make her read she got to read about 72 paragraphs before you got on board. Enrique, she was like, please don't make me read no more. But when you're the only one in class, you get to do most of the reading, which is good for you.
Yeah.
So let's go here. It says read the paragraph, underline, that's the key word, underline the countries, and then it says circle the languages. So Enrique, I'm gonna have you read to right where my cursor's at, okay?
To where? Hold on.
See my little thing? My cursor?
Yes, to friendly
Yes.
or to city. Okay, cool. So you want me to start it?
I do. I want to hear you read and wow us. Wow us.
Okay. My name is Jamela, and my family is from Zanzibar in Tanzania. We came to the United States 2 years ago. Now we live in Kansas City. We like our neighbors in Kansas City. They are very friendly.
All right, Edith, you're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
Okay. We have met many people at a community garden where we grow our own vegetables like corn, tomato, and squash. At our garden, people come from Bosnia, Ethiopia, Sudan, Mexico, and other countries. People speak like Arabic, Arabic, and
Arabic?
Spanish, but Arabic and Spanish, but everyone speaks at least a little English.
At least a little English. So let's look. I want y'all to see this word right here. What is this word right here? Anybody?
Or
Our or our?
Or
Our.
right?
Let's do
Our, yeah, no, maybe our, yeah. Our time, yeah.
So let's talk about that, because that's a word that doesn't oftentimes gets mispronounced. So, where did my text box go? So our,
okay.
But let me throw this in here. What is this word?
Our.
What's this word?
Our.
And this word is?
Or, yeah.
Our. So our would be like take our picture. Our, like this, when you see it start with an H, we are in the 10th hour of the day. Or what hour were you born in? Does that make sense? It deals with time. So what I'm trying to say is time.
Yeah.
And then are, if we think about are you nice to others? No, I do not. Oh, no, I do not like people. I am, I think that's right, allergic to them. So that's just an example of what you might see there. Okay, so let's go back to, can you see this? Can you see the picture or no?
No.
Yeah, I read the picture.
I mean, do you see what I'm seeing here with the lady?
With the lady? No, I don't see anything.
Hold on, I
don't see anything.
Okay, hold on. I gotta remember, I gotta go back and forth.
Put it there. So good.
Okay, so we're back at what you guys see. So let's go through the paragraph that we just read
Mm-hmm.
and underline the countries. So we know that Tanzania, Zania, however they say it, that's a country. So what other countries
Yes.
do we see?
USA.
So the U.S. is a country, so we could underline the U.S. Okay, what else?
Bosnia.
I'm sorry, I don't know if my cell phone or what, I can hear you well. I say Mexico too, Sudan, Bosnia, and
Yeah.
Yes, so Bosnia, Ethiopia,
Ethiopia.
Sudan, and Mexico. So
Mhm.
Bosnia, Ethiopia,
Correct.
Sudan, Mexico. All right, so those are our countries. Now, the other thing it said to do was to circle the languages. So what are some languages that we see in this paragraph? What stands out to you?
Um, Arabic.
Arabic, Arabic,
Arabic.
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 Uh-huh.
Okay. Spanish and English.
So Arabic, Spanish, and English. So those are three languages. And do we see a city? Do we see a city named anywhere in the paragraph? That's just a little something extra.
Yes. Kansas.
Kansas City. And what about, is there another place?
Zanzibar.
Zanzibar, Tasmania. Okay, so those are our cities. So very good. So we spent a little time with that. Did y'all, when y'all came from your, excuse me, when you came from your country, so did you live in the city or in the countryside? So in Mexico, where did you live, Edith?
I live in the city, Mexico City.
Okay, probably very populated. What about you,
Yes.
Enrique, in Colombia? Where did you?
From the capital as well, from Bogota.
Okay. So, and you've already told me what you speak in languages. And do you like your communities where you're at now?
What?
Do either one of you
yeah.
like the community where you live at now?
I do.
Yes.
Okay. And then what do you like about it? So Edith, what do you like about Jo Burns, Tennessee?
I like the quiet because it's a really quiet place and I like that.
Okay. Enrique, what do you like about living down there in the highfalutin area?
Well, I love Nashville. I love it's a growing city. Then also I love the culture. I love the South culture. I love the food and I love the ambience and entertainment.
That's a good word, ambience. Or ambiance. I think we would say ambiance.
Ambience. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
Very good.
Ambient.
Entertainment. Okay. Very good. I like Enrique. He's got a large vocabulary of words at his command. He's
Yeah.
gonna teach us a word or two, Edith.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna make the teacher look bad. I'll send Miss Judy a text tonight and say Enrique said he'll teach the rest of the class.
I don't think so.
All right, so here it says discuss on our next page that we're going to go down, and I don't have the CD with me tonight. I apologize. So we'll be doing some reading. Well, we can't really do the reading with that. Do either one of y'all have the CD?
No.
No.
Did you get a code in the back of your book
Oh, maybe, yeah.
where it would be pulled up? Either way, we can talk about it. So it says Edwin Well, no, we can't really talk about that. I forgot about. So we could read this conversation right here.
Okay.
We're going to read this. So Marco will be Enrique. Edwin will be Edith. Okay?
Okay.
So y'all read that conversation. Marco, start talking.
Okay, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Great game. Is this the Atlas Soccer Lounge? Lounge? How you
League.
say now?
League.
League. How you say it? League?
League. Soccer
League.
league.
Soccer league. What does that mean?
Soccer league, which is like a big group, a bunch of teams.
Okay.
Soccer
Soccer
league.
league.
I would refer to a league as sort of like a big association of, you know,
Oh,
like
okay.
you have the Association of School Transportation. It's all, so the Southeastern State Association of School Transportation, that would be 16 southern states. So if you think about the soccer leagues that are in Mexico, or I think in Peru, they've got some pretty big ones. In Brazil, I heard, I don't know if it's true, but in some of these Central America and South American countries, that these soccer leagues and soccer games can become quite violent. People even get killed. I mean, folks love soccer there. It's like the whole world revolves around that soccer ball.
Oh, yeah.
So I love soccer too, but I'm not going to die for it. Okay, so Edwin, go ahead, keep reading.
I have heard about them.
Okay, Edwin?
Yes, I love to come here and watch them.
Mm-hmm.
Do they play every Saturday?
Yes, unless it rains. By the way, my name is Edwin.
Hi, I'm Marco. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Do you live around here?
Nervi. I live in the south side. I'm originally from Brazil.
I thought you said you were from Colombia.
Right?
So that first word, what's that first word you read there, Marco?
The first word? Great.
You said I live in Southside, but what's the word you read right before that?
Oh, Nervi.
Nervi. So that's nearby.
Nearby, yeah.
Nearby. Okay. So.
Oh, it's nearby. How you pronounce it?
Nearby. Yep.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay.
You know, we in English we like to combine words. That's why we use contractions. I noticed you guys keep separating the contractions. So if it says I've heard about them, I have heard about them. That seems to be a tendency I notice in a lot of the Hispanics when they're communicating. They do not use the contractions as much as we love them. So let's just talk a little bit about, so when does the Atlas Soccer League meet? So if we go back to this page over here, the first page,
Saturday.
They meet on Saturday. That is correct.
Yeah.
So what happens when it rains?
They don't play.
Well, that's not a very good soccer team. I mean, they don't play if they don't play if it rains. Very good. So here it says, listen to the rest of the conversation. Right, true, and false. So I can read the conversation again. Great game. Is this the Atlas Soccer League? I've heard all about them. Yes, I love to come here and watch them. Do they play every Saturday? Yes, unless it rains. By the way, my name's Edwin. Hi, I'm Marco. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Do you live around here? Nearby, I live in South Side. I'm originally from Brazil. So here it says, Marco knows many players in Edwin Soccer League. we don't know if that's true or false because I don't have the rest of this conversation. And he doesn't mention it. So I would say that here the answer to that question would be false, because as we reread the paragraph, he's not indicated that he knows all these other players, correct? Nowhere in the conversation do we hear, so it says Marco and Hector are both from Brazil, but not from the same town. Well, I don't see him mention Hector anywhere. I see him introduce himself to Edwin, saying, hi, my name is Edwin, and Marco, being kind, says, well, my name is Marco. So either way, we would say that is false, and if we had had the rest of the story there, we would know that a conversation did take place between them, and he was surprised to see Marco. So either way, I will get the answer to that the next time. So I apologize that I did not have that today.
Sure.
That's fine.
I got to find them. I know I've got them in my car, but I did not bring them in here. So listen to these words, then listen and repeat. So I'm going to say the words tonight. I will say the words tonight for you.
Which one?
And listen to the words up here at the top on page 9. So it's Poland, Brazil, Cambodia, China, the United States. So words are made up of syllables. In English, one syllable in a word has the strongest stress. It is longer and louder than other syllables. So when we see these words, there's going to be a syllable that stands out above all the others. So Poland, Brazil, Cambodia, China, the United States. All right, so you guys say those words for me. Edith, I'll let you say them first. I'll put Enrique on the spot when he unmutes himself.
Okay, which one? The Laos or?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Poland, Brazil, Cambodia, China, the United States.
Very good. Very good. So Enrique, it's your turn. You're the next contestant on what word is this?
Which one?
Right here, these words. I want you to
Oh, yeah, sure. Poland, Brazil, Cambodia, China, the United States.
United States. Very good. So let's go back down to the second section. It says, second section here, listen to the words. So that little dot, put the little dot, the stressed syllable. So we're going to mark the stressed syllable. You guys get to determine where that goes.
Okay.
Laos, Korea, Mexico, Russia, Vietnam, and Colombia. So if we see those 6 countries, where would we put the stress mark? So on number 1, where would we put that?
Where? I mean,
yes.
Laos.
Laos.
So that would be, we would have a dot right here. See where my cursor is? So
where?
We put that
between the A and the L, or between the Laos?
just above it, above the AL. Just
above.
like we have, see how I've got the stress mark here?
Gotcha.
Enrique, you just put it over this. Over the Laos.
Laos.
What about number 2?
Between K and O. Korea.
Korea.
I think R and E.
Yes, very good.
Korea.
Korea. That's what you hear the most. So if we look at number 3, we'll let the person from Mexico tell us where do we put that stress mark. Hermano.
The I.
Hermana. Are you sure?
Mex.
Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah.
I would put it
Mexico.
above the MEX. Mex.
Oh my God.
Mexico.
Mexico.
Russia. Russia. Yeah.
Russia. Yes, very good. So he's got that. So you'd put it over the RUSS. That stress mark will go there because that's what you hear. Mexico or Russia. So let's go to number 5. Where would we put the stress mark on
Vietnam.
number 5?
Vietnam.
Vietnam or Vietnam, however you wish to say that. So where would we put that?
Vietnam. I guess Vietnam. I don't know.
Yes, that's right. Because that's what you hear.
Yeah.
You hear Viet, but the big one that you hear the most is Vietnam.
Vietnam. Yeah.
Or Vietnam. All right,
Colombia.
Colombia, guy, tell me where does the
Colombia. Lom.
Lom.
Mhm.
L-O-M.
Colombia
Colombia. Yeah.
supposed to be the place where if a single guy shows up, they can find them a girlfriend quick.
What? What did you say?
Is that true?
What? One more time?
I'm giving you a hard time.
What do you say?
All right, so it wants us to practice this conversation a little bit. So I'm going to do Marco, and so Edwin will be. Who did Edwin before? Edith.
Yes.
So let's make we'll make Enrique be Edwin, and Marco. Enrique. I will do my best not to deviate too much or shy away, but I like to have fun with this. Put you guys on the spot, okay?
Mhm.
I'm going to read these, and you may give me an answer, but I might change my response just to see how you guys would respond. To see.
Sounds
if you're
fun.
able to-
Sounds fun. It's like I like that. It's a game. I like it. That's fun.
All right. So it says, great game. Is this the Atlas Soccer League? I've heard all about them, my friend.
Who, me answer?
Si, signori.
Yes, I love to come here and watch them.
Do they play every Saturday?
Yes, they do, unless it rains. By the way, my name is Edwin.
Well, I'm not going to tell you my name right now, although it is a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, do you like around here?
Do I like it around here?
Yeah.
I do like living around here. It's hot, though. You like the heat?
Yeah.
I live in the south side. I'm originally from Colombia.
You're originally from Colombia? I'm originally from Ohio. It's where all the coolest people are from.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. I have to
Okay.
go there someday. I've never been there.
Well, we'll have to travel some. I'll have to take you one day. I go
Sure.
up there to see my family. They live right outside of Cleveland. So that's a big city. I call it like the old, if you go in your northern states, you see a lot of the old industries, the old steel mills and the coal mines, and go up through West Virginia.
What part from Ohio are you from?
Cleveland, right outside of Cleveland,
Oh, okay.
way at the top of that state. Right up by the Great Lakes where it's cold. The wintertime, the chill will just go straight through your bones. It's terrible. So down here it says, get to know your partner, introduce yourself, ask the questions or your own questions. So
This is the best part for you.
this is always fun. We can ask all sorts of questions because really the idea of this program is to get you guys to converse with one another and feel comfortable speaking in English. You've learned the prior levels, I believe, teach you a lot of the fundamentals. Here you're learning to talk and feel comfortable with it. And I like to talk. So let's just start with Edith. Do you live far from school?
Yes.
You do. So how do you get there? How do you get to school every day?
Driving?
You drive? Well, I take the horse and buggy every day, and it's slow going. Are you a new student at Joe Burns High School?
Yes.
You are? Do you like the principal there?
Yes.
I heard he's really mean and really not cool. Is that true?
Well, no, I think he is really nice.
Well, I'm gonna stick with my original idea of how he is because he was really mean to me one day. What classes are you taking there?
Um, well, math. Okay.
Math.
Yes.
Math of all classes. Do you like math?
Yes, I love math.
You love math? Well, I'm taking
Yes.
English, and I love English. Why do you want to learn English?
Why? So I can be more confident when I
Confident.
speak some people, yeah, some other people.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, Enrique, it's your turn. Uh, so do you live far from your college?
Oh, yes, very far.
Very far. How do you get to college then if you live very far away?
With Zoom.
Oh, I see. So why did you pick a college that was so far away instead of picking something that was close by?
Well, I saw the program, so when friend told me about it, then that's what I picked the English classes with this college.
Who told you about it?
Friend of mine.
A friend of yours told you? Did they say good things about our class, our college?
Very good.
Very good. Um, so why do you want to learn English?
Because English is the first language in America.
English
And if
is the
you
first.
want to succeed in the United States, you have to speak the language very well.
I see. Well, I'm successful and I can hardly speak English.
Well, you teach English.
That's what they told me I should do one day, but it doesn't pay very well. All right. So let's go to our next page in our book. It's going to be page 10. It's going to be so exciting tonight. Make small talk. So we're on lesson 3. Try not to pay attention to where I've erased and written and erased and rewritten. I'm sure Enrique will punish me later. So either way, it says make small talk. So simple present. So affirmative statements, negative statements, yes, no questions, short answers. So I call this the grammar watch area. So here are the affirmative statements that we're going to talk about tonight. Let me see if I've got some little information here that I can start with you. So let's go to the whiteboard for a second, and I can't really keep this up. So let's go to the whiteboard. So that means I've got to stop sharing this. And we're going to go back and then we'll hit share screen. Let's do another whiteboard, share. Okay. I need my text box back. Oh, let's clear the whole screen. Are you serious?
Very well.
Now, so I'm going to write or type a little sentence on this whiteboard for you tonight. So it says, I go to school. So I want you guys to help me write sentences with you. So we're going to write sentences with you, they, he, she. Okie dokie.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's think of, so write a sentence that how are you? I've got my class here I'm teaching. Yeah. For me to sign? Okay. All right. Okie dokie.
Oh, it's raining very bad here.
It's raining here too. My inventory control auditor just walked in and told me she left me a folder, so she's giving me a heads up that I'll have work to do tomorrow. Can y'all believe that? Gonna make it work. You know, work is really overrated. Just saying. Watch out, Edith. I just saw a tiger walk through your kitchen area. It was a four-legged tiger.
Ah, yeah,
Looked
right.
like it was hunting for a mouse. Or
Yeah,
something.
maybe. Yeah.
So let's write some sentences that deal with you, they, he, and she tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, leave the cat out. The rain won't melt him. All right. See you, Mel. All right. So let's think of a sentence. So we got I go to school. So we could say they go to school, correct?
Yeah.
Or if we say he, let's change that. So we wouldn't say he go to school. We would say he goes
Goes
to school.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Or she goes to school. And what's the other word? They. So here we would change. Oh, so we've already done. They go to school. He goes to school.
You.
So you.
Yeah.
Do we say you goes to school or you go to school?
You
Go.
go.
You go to school. Okay. So remember when we think about he goes to, oops, when we see this, he goes to school, I want you to look at the word goes. So remember in the simple present affirmative, there is an S at the end of the verb for he, she, and it. So here we add ES. But, and so I just want you to know that. So when we say he, she, or it, we are going to add that S to it. And that's why we see she goes, he goes, and we didn't say it goes to school. What I would say is you're generally not going to refer to a person as it. You wouldn't be happy if I walked up instead of saying Edith goes to school. So if it's a proper person or a proper noun, Edith goes to school. Enrique goes to school. I wouldn't say it goes to school because you would get hot mad if I called you it. Both of you would. You'd say, I have a name and you will address me as such. But that would just, so I would just make sure you understand that. Well, let's see here. So let's do another example. So as we think about negative simple present, I do want to point out, so I don't go to school. He doesn't, okay, go to school. So I can't underline these two words, and I see that I didn't spell, my fingers are school, and then I didn't do this correctly. So I don't go to school. This is the negative simple present, okay? I don't go to school and he doesn't go to school. And I would underline don't and doesn't. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
underline don't. So what about yes and no questions for the simple present?
Oh.
March.
I want to try to make this bigger so that I may have to. So do y'all got all this written down, or if you're wanting it, I don't know.
Yes, I got it.
I
You
got
said.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back up here. So let's think about what about yes, no questions for the simple present. So I'm going to do an example, do, and then we'll put you or they go to school. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do the next one. Does, let's see, he or she go to school? So the two words that you'll want to remember there is do and does. Okay, so when we think about simple present, we're thinking about the do or does type of statements or questions. What about short answers for simple present questions? So I would say that if we were going to use an example, do you go to school? And what might we say? Well, we could say, yes, I do. Or does he go to school? So what's the answer then? How would we say that? Yes,
Yes, I got it.
comma. So we know that we asked he, does he go to school? So we would say, yes,
He
he
does.
does. Very good. You're on fire. Enrique, get a fire extinguisher, put her out. She's gonna burn the computer up. Okay, so we're gonna learn about simple present tense. We use it to make some small talk. So either way, it wants us to read some sentences and questions in the charts that are located here on page 10, and then we'll read the practice section just below. So if we go back, and I got to share this screen with you, so let me go back to that so that you can see what I'm seeing. So Jesse fixed this to where I could see his screen instead of the one all the way up front because I can't see that far. My eyes are old. So up here it says simple present, I, you, or they. So I play soccer. You play soccer. They play soccer. He plays dominoes. She plays dominoes. You see how that changes? These are affirmative. You're telling me this is what you do. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Negative statements, however, we don't play soccer. You don't play soccer. They don't play soccer. Or he doesn't play soccer. Dominoes, she doesn't play. So just remember these. Now you're telling me before you are affirming or you're confirming or you are declaring that you do something. Here you're saying, I do not do any of those things. So yes, no questions. So let's look at that on this page here. It says, do you play on a team? So when we see a question like that, it can be answered with yes or no. These are very simple questions. If you ever have the opportunity to testify in court, you'll get a lot of these questions. Did you sleep last night? Edith?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Edith, did you sleep well last night?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I didn't, no? Yeah, yes, I
No,
No,
did.
I
I
did
did.
not. Or
I
no,
did
I
not.
didn't. That's correct. No, I don't.
I,
Don't is not the correct way to say that. You're correct.
okay.
Uh,
No, I
Short
didn't.
answers, you could say no, I don't, but I think no, I did not. Because again, Enrique, she would be right to say no, I don't, because you're separating the two words. Because don't is do not or did not. Okay, didn't and don't mean to me they're the same thing. So do you play on a team? Yes or no? I don't know. Does she watch the games? Yes. Edith is at every ball game.
Mhm.
Short answers to these questions. Do you play on a team? Yes, I do. Or no, I don't. Does she watch the games? Yes, she does. Or no, she doesn't. So for the third person singular, we see down here, look at our little grammar watch here. Ding, 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 ding. Did y'all see that grammar watch? It's screaming
Yeah.
at us right now. It says Enrique. For the third person singular, she, he, it, add s or es to the base form, okay? And that's why we see like does, so do, because it is the third person, yes, she, or no, she. Just remember that that's why we add the es to that word. Sometimes you would not have to add the es, you could just put an s. All right, so we've got our little cheat. This, you can see this on your page, okay, the box. So I would encourage you to reference that as we go down here and read about Zane's neighborhood. We will then underline simple present verbs. So who would like to volunteer to read?
I do.
Who?
Me, Albert. Enrique?
Enrique. He told me to quit calling him that the last time. Did you know that, Edith?
No.
I'm giving you a hard time. All right, Enrique, Albert, I'm listening.
Okay, my family comes from Sichuan province in China. Now we live in downtown Seattle. People from all parts of Asia live here. My family has an apartment near Hinghei Park. I like the park a lot. It reminds me of park in China. Hinghei Park has benches and tables for Chinese chess. My grandfather plays there with other older men. My grandmother doesn't play chess, but she does Tai Chi with her friends almost every morning.
Hmm. So underline. So let's underline the simple present verbs. So who would like to tell me what the first simple present verb is?
Comes,
Comes. Very good. So my family comes. Comes. That's the verb. It's telling you they're doing something. Okay?
live,
Yep. So what's the next one?
Live.
Live. So now we live. So this is what we're doing. We live in downtown Seattle. All right. And so we also see live again.
Yeah.
So people from all parts of Asia live here. What do they do there? They live there. Okay. What else?
has,
Which one?
has,
Has. Okay. So my family has an apartment near Hinghei Park. So has, that's what they do. Okay. What else?
like,
I
I
like.
like. Yes.
I like what?
the
The
park
parks.
a lot.
I like the park. Which
The
park?
park.
The park. How much?
Wait a minute.
A
I have a
lot.
question, if you don't mind, right now.
Okay. Fire away. I may not be able to answer, but fire away.
Okay. The park, you say the United States or the United States? What's the difference when you should say,
So as a general rule, so I say the park, but as a general rule, you will hear in English, I hate to go switch back, but let's do this because it's yours.
because you say the United States of America, right? You don't say the United States of America.
Well, hold on. This one's going to cost you, Enrique. Okay? Cost you big time. You're going to make me very familiar with how to use this program before it's all over. All drawings. So let's go back here. So this is a good question. So hold on. And I like the house Edith lives in. Okay. So
Mhm.
I say I like the house. However,
Mhm.
Okay.
you will hear a lot of folks say, I like the house Edith lives in. I like the United States of America as a place to live.
Yes.
So the difference here, you see this letter right here?
What
The
letter?
U right here.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
U is a vowel. So if the precedes this a word that starts with a vowel, you would say I like the. If the precedes a word that starts with a consonant, anything other than a vowel, so here it starts with an H, I would say I like the horse or the house. Does that make sense?
I thought it was opposite when you say that I like the park,
The park,
but you say the park.
the park, the park, the park.
Because when we were reading, I'm sorry, when we were reading, you say I like the park,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a consonant, and you say the.
I say the all the time as a general rule. It's just
Oh, okay.
Joshua,
But
but as a general
grammatically
rule, if you
correct,
got
it's the park.
the park,
Got it. And
the,
and
the,
the United States because.
the, yes, because it's starting with a vowel. The,
Oh, okay.
not
Thank you.
starting.
I got it.
I generally just say the everything. And you really notice it when you're singing hymn songs or you're singing songs in period in general. If you see the or the as you're singing.
Well, if we travel together, I will have all these questions all the time. I don't know if you want to do that.
Well, I'm glad. No, that's what I'm here for. I want to answer the best that I can. I may not have all of the answers. I certainly should know most of what we do.
No, but thank you. I'm serious. Thank you for clarifying that for me because I always have that doubt because I heard the United States, the park, and I say, okay, when do you say the and when do you have it the? Because it's the same word, but you pronounce different, depends on something. And thank you
Depends
because you
on
explained very well.
depends on the word that follows it, whether it's
Got it.
with a vowel or a consonant. Correct.
Thank
So
you.
there, I would say I like the park a lot. It reminds
Gotcha.
me of parks in China.
Mhm.
I'm trying to see if there's another example of that here in this particular. No, I do not see another example of that.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so we've underlined I like. So like
Mhm.
was one of our simple present verbs. What else would be a simple present verb?
Mm.
Reminds? No.
Remind.
Reminds, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Reminds.
it reminds. So
Mm.
remind is something that we do. So it reminds, and it has an S added to it because it's third person. It starts with that it. See the she, he, it. So it's third person. It reminds me of parks in China.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
What else?
Has.
Has. Okay. So Hing Hay Park has. So
Mhm.
that's telling you what they have or has benches and tables for Chinese chess. Anything else that we might underline?
Place.
Place. Let
Place.
me see.
Yes. Okay. Are there any others?
Play.
Play.
Those. Oh no, those.
You say already has and have? Yeah.
So we've taken care of has and have.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Do and doesn't? Or do
Yeah,
and
doesn't.
does?
does and doesn't.
Yeah. Does and doesn't.
So my grandmother doesn't play. So we would actually have to say doesn't play. It would require both. Doesn't play
Mm-hmm.
and then does. But she
Mhm.
does Tai Chi. with her friends. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let's see here. Hold on. Okay, so now it wants us to go. It says, look at the same paragraph and circle all of the examples in the third person singular. So we talked about for third person singular, it needs to start with she, he, or it. And that we generally will add an S or an ES to the base forms of those words, okay? So let's look through here and see if we can circle. And it may not be that it actually says she, he, or it. So let's think about what that might look like here in our book. This will be a little harder maybe to explain. So my family comes from Sichuan province in China. So my family, that would be one of our third person singular. So my family. Because we could substitute my family with it comes from, or he comes from, or she comes from. Okay? Primarily it because it's saying my family. We would not assign it a sex. You know, in Spanish, you guys assign a masculine, feminine. English, it's he or she, male or female. All right, so let's look on through the paragraph. People from all parts of Asia live here. My family has an apartment near Hinghe Park. So what would be, I think we might have one there in that sense.
Yeah, my family.
My family, correct. Again, you could say it has an apartment near Hinghe Park. It's good that you're catching that. If we substitute the third person singular, it allows you, so you're identifying that my family is it. Okay, anything else? I see one.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's good. That's new for me. That's cool to know.
You would not though. Remember, I said people don't like to be referred to
Sure.
it.
It.
Like it. So let's go down and see, is there another one?
Yeah, it reminds it.
It.
And then the Hin High Park.
Hinghe Park.
It has. Yeah.
Everybody, bravo, bravo. So Hinghe Park.
Yeah.
Benches. So it has benches. If we took Hinghe Park and said, substituted the word it has benches and tables for Chinese chess. Here they're being very specific, but that's very good. All right. Anything
I'm gonna
else?
write it down. Yep. Let's see.
My grandfather and my grandmother.
Grandfather. So if what could we substitute my grandfather? We could say
He.
Right, my grandfather. Or we could say he plays there with older men. So very good. Next.
Yeah, but knowing we are writing because they don't know what we expect, right? I mean, they don't know exactly who we're talking about. We know there's a masculine, but yeah.
Yeah, and this one we do because my grandfather, that's what we would circle. We know a father is always a male, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why you could sub, instead of saying my grandfather, you could just say he plays there with other old men.
Yeah.
Again, we've got my grandfather, which is specific. We could be vague or we could be ambiguous and say he plays, but instead the author has said my grandfather. So it's been very specific. Who is playing? My grandfather. Who is he playing with? Men. What kind of men? Older men.
Older men.
All right, so what's the next one?
Grandmother?
My
My
grandmother.
grandmother?
My
Mhm.
grandmother. Very good. And if we wanted to be vague or ambiguous, what could we substitute there?
She.
She. So
She.
she doesn't play chess, but she does Tai Chi with her friends almost
Mhm.
every morning. So we
Mhm.
would circle she again right after there where it says she does. She would be the other third person singular that we would be
Mhm.
looking at. All right. We're making some progress. Let me see if I chose any others. Oh, I did. Uh, so let's go to the next page. So WH questions about the subject. So this is simple present and other WH questions. So who plays soccer on Sundays? How often do you play? Where do you play? Who do you play? How often do you meet? Where do you meet? Where do you play? Where do you play with? I don't know. That one you wouldn't do. Who do you play
Who do
with?
you play with?
Where do
Yes.
you meet? Uh, who do you play? Who do you meet? So those are all those WH questions. We ask the questions all the time in English. We're a little bit nosy. So I think about who went to the library on Sunday. Who goes to the library on Sunday? So either way, let's go through here and we're going to try to answer these questions. You get to write a question tonight, my friends. So it's got the first one here. So how you spend your time. So those are the words that you have to choose, but we need to put it and use the simple present and the words that are in parentheses to make a statement or a question. So how do you spend your spare time? How you spend your spare time. So up here we've got the how. How do you spend, that's what you're doing, your spare time. That's the question. So let's look at question number 2 or the statement. It says, we go to the park almost every weekend. My family loves the park. Oh yeah? Now, here we need to make a sentence. We've got some words to choose from that we need to use all of them. What you do there. What you do there. Well, we know that's not correct.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't make sense. So how might we ask that question? So it's a WH, so we know we would start it with what.
Mhm.
So what, and then here's
Do.
our word. What do? And here we
Mhm.
go.
Do.
Do, and then we could say, what's this word here?
What do you
You.
do there?
What do
Yeah.
you
What do you
do
do?
there? Correct. You put that simple present uh, into the equation or into the sentence, and now it makes sense to all of us. Oh Lord. All right, so let's go on, and it says we have a barbecue and spend the day together. So we've said, oh yeah, what do you do there? Well, we have a barbecue and spend the day together. Yum, yum, yum.
Mm.
That's nice. Now, again, we need to make a sentence with these words in parentheses. What kind of food you cook? So how might we ask that question properly? So what kind of food?
Well, we can only use those words as in parentheses.
You can add words. So remember
Oh,
we
we
got
can
Yeah.
add.
we got a
Oh,
little
okay.
box up here.
Yeah.
So we've got the term do.
Yeah.
That's the word that we're working with here. So it's just where do you place that?
Did.
Where do you place this word do?
I think it's
What?
pet, no? Because you say we have a barbecue and spend the day together.
That's nice. And then it says
What kind
of
of
food
food
you
do
cook?
you
Or
Do
do you
you
cook?
cook? Very
do
good,
you cook?
Edith. Very good. What kind of food do you cook? You could say, what kind of food did you cook if we were
Did you
talking
cook?
in the past, but we're currently working in the present. See up here, our little box says simple present, but
Mhm.
you are correct. If you said, what kind of food did you cook? That is certainly a question. It would be appropriate to ask that question. But in this instance, we want to deal with the present. All right. We usually eat beef or chicken, rice and beans, and tamales. Mm, good. So here's our next sentence that we need to create. You want to come with us this weekend. So now we need to ask a question.
Do
Do
Mhm.
you want to
want to
come
come? Mhm.
with us this weekend? Very good, Enrique. I'll send a fire extinguisher your way to put you out as well. All right, so do you want to come with us this weekend? Sure, that sounds great. Or sure, that sounds amazing. Or that sounds wonderful. Okay. And I told you guys I like to use different words so that you can hear how you might respond differently.
That sounds great.
All right,
Mhm.
write questions to a classmate in your notebook. Use the simple present. So in this exercise, I'm not going to make you guys. Well, you know what? I can switch over because hold on, I gotta stop sharing. It's gonna take. It's a learning process. Your whiteboard share. So let's go up here. Clear all drawings. She says, I'm tired. I'm so tired.
Oh, don't worry. You are not the only one. I'm exhausted too. But
Why is the teacher making us stay in class?
no, no. I think we both appreciate it, right?
Yes.
And we can
Mhm.
start these at 6 if y'all want to do it at 6, but I think 6:30 is easier for you.
Oh yeah, because I mean 6:30. I work till 6:30, 6:35, so I can make it before that, unfortunately.
I know Edith said she'd like to be starting early.
No, it's fine. 6:30 is
I'm
fine.
giving you a hard time, Edith. All right. So here it wants us to write some sentences. So it says, what country be you from? Well, we know that's not a correct way to ask a question, correct?
Mm-mm. No.
So how might we ask that question looking at your book
Uh-huh.
Oh,
using simple present questions? So what country, hold on,
R.
are you from?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. So there's question number 1. Question 2, where you live now? Where you live now? Well, we know that's not correct. So how might we ask that so that it's correct? Where,
Where do you live now?
where
Mm-hmm.
do you live now? Very good. You like your neighborhood? Mm, that's questionable. So how might we start that?
Do.
Do
Mhm.
you like your neighborhood? Correct. Yes. No, I can't. So no, I cannot stand it unless I am at, hold on here. Let's see, what do I want to write here? Hilbert's house. Then Grand Party Central. All night long. Okay. All right, let's go to our next one. 4 says, what you like about your neighborhood. So how can we make this simple present? What you like about your neighborhood. What
Do
do?
what do you like about
Uh-huh.
your
What do you like about your neighborhood? according to Edith, she likes the fact that it is small. There you
Yes.
go. She likes being out there. Let me just say, it is far away from the city. She can hear the cows mooing. And I don't think it, hear the cows, let's just say rustling. I could say she can hear the
Mm.
There's no, I don't think she
No,
likes
no, no.
that.
Oh, no, no, no.
Now she won't sleep there tonight.
Yeah.
if I see a snake, I'm going to be walking on the air because I'm scared to death.
Me too. I don't like them.
Yeah. All right. Number 5 says, who you live with. So how would we start that? Who
Do you live?
do you live with? Okay. No comments. Enrique, I hear crickets. And our last question tonight says, who helped you the most in the U.S.? So who? So what do we need? Remember when we think about, we were supposed to add an S or an ES to certain words. Do you recall that? When we think about third person words, he, she, or it, we would add S or ES to the base form. So who?
Helps.
Very good. Who helps, whoops, you the most in the U.S.?
Oh, really? Okay, so it's no do there, huh?
Know what?
Do.
Not do.
Yes.
No, because here we're asking this question. So who helped you the most in the United? Now we're just going to add the S. See, look up here on the page there on page 11 at the top. It says WH questions about the subject. So the subject is the United States. So, and it starts out with who, and then it says in our example, play soccer on Sundays. So play, you could say who will you play? That would be fair. But here, who plays? So here it says who helps you the most in the United States or the U.S. My friends, our time is about to expire. Any words for the wise? Any thoughts before we say Averadice? Auf
No.
Wiedersehen. Guten Nacht.
What? I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
can hear you.
So I just said Averadice is Italian. To see you later.
Oh,
Guten Nacht is good night in German.
wow.
So I think that's it. Next week we will start up with page lesson 4 should be page 12, and I'll scan some more of these pages and go through them. We generally don't get a whole lot of pages covered in one night, but we'll try to get through a couple sections. If it's just you two, it certainly will be a whole lot more personal. Angie, if Angie comes, I know that it will be a little more challenging when she's here because she likes to ask questions, and rightly so. And I hope that you guys will ask lots of questions too.
I will ask you a little bit more about the last question next time, if you don't mind.
Well, what's that?
Well, the who, I mean, I thought that always we have to use for the questions the do, does, or are, but I guess not. I was confused about that.
Mm, So yes or no questions, short answers. So we add the simple present if we're saying we are confirming or affirming that we do something. If we're something that's negative, meaning I don't do this or I don't agree with. So not so much the case. So here, uh, it's because it's one of those grammar watch notes over there on page 10, just underneath the word does she a watch. Uh,
Okay.
so there it says again for the third person singular. And so we are doing simple present, but we're still dealing with singular base type words. It says so he, she, or it. So add s or es. And so who.
Oh, okay, got
So
you.
if I replace who, I could put it. It helps you the most in the United States, or she helps you the most in the United States. He helps you the most. So if we got rid of who and said he, although it's asking, we could say he helps you or she helps you. And so that's why when we're asking this question up here, now we go back to page 11, WH questions about the subject, who plays soccer on Sunday?
Mhm.
Who? So that's how this started, who. And so play is the base form. It's in its singular form. But if we add an S or an ES, it makes it plural, correct?
Mhm.
So he plays. So that's the reason. So who helps you the most in the United States? Who helps you? So who could be a plethora or a wide range of individuals. And it could be more than one individual. It could be one person. Joshua helps me in the United States, or Joshua, Edith, and Enrique help me the most. So in that instance, it would be help because now I'm telling you what they do. They help me the most.
Got you.
And you see, I said the most, but the most.
Mhm.
The most.
Temas.
The most.
I think, so the other thing that I would say, if you go to your northern states, like I use, for example, Ohio, that's where my family, that's where they're all from. My uncle, great uncle, was a professor uh, at one of the universities there in Ohio. So the one thing that I recollect from college days uh, was a statement that was made one time in an English class that the best spoken English in the United States is spoken in Ohio. So folks that live in Ohio generally speak very well.
Huh.
You guys said that they speak very well. I didn't say they speak very good. They speak very well
Mhm.
because well, it would show that's a sign of a higher class individual, somebody who speaks well. They do not speak good. They don't speak okay. They speak well. All right. So I hope that Enrique that helps you in some way. I know that
Yes.
JC is listening painfully in the background, and as he hears things, he may come in and say, Joshua, I'm a Spanish speaker myself. You might change this, 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 and that, or you don't change anything. I think he enjoyed it last week just listening. He's got a little girl that's 2 years old, so he stays pretty busy with her, but he listens in the background just in case I have problems. So I appreciate both of you. I wish you the very best and hope that the rest of your week is wonderful.
Yeah.
Don't do anything this weekend that I wouldn't do. Enrique, they've got the movie theaters open back up. I went this past Sunday. It was amazing.
What is amazing? I'm sorry. A
Oh,
movie? Which movie?
he wasn't listening.
No, I was listening. I'm sorry.
I'm
You
gonna
say
go
movie,
try.
but which movie?
Well, I went and
What
watched Back
movie?
to the Future because that's an old movie, but it was so nice to go to Opry Mills and watch these $5 movies.
Oh,
Oh, oh
yeah.
wow. Well,
It's very inexpensive to go back and watch movies in the theater. In the Opry Mills Mall, there was like nobody. It was like a ghost town.
Yes.
I felt like I arrived out west in these old, desolate ghost towns.
I guess I don't know if I want to go to a theater at this time now with the pandemic. No, I don't know.
Oh, you just wear your mask and go in there and just have a blast. There were only 2 other people in the whole theater. I sat down towards the bottom and they were at the top. It was amazing. Nothing like watching a movie in theater. Well, I appreciate you both. I wish you the very best this weekend. We'll see
Thank
you,
you.
Lord willing, next Thursday. If you have questions, have them ready. As always, I will do my best to answer them, but I'm not promising nothing.
You mentioned the other day that we can contact you to maybe have any questions in the week, except Mondays, right?
Generally, Mondays are not good days.
Yeah, exactly. Any other week, any other
Fridays
day.
are not usually good days in transportation because we have a lot of people out.
Sure. Oh, okay.
You're right here close. If you know anybody that wants to be a bus driver, we had 12 bus drivers out today, so we're always looking for bus drivers. So it makes for a challenging day when we're trying to get children home and don't have enough people to perform that task. And then you get those angry mamas like Edith that calls, "Where's my child?"
No.
But yes, you've got my cell number. I gave that to you, so just reach out or text me. So text me.
I don't have it. That's what I was going to ask you, if you don't mind.
So I charge $25 a digit.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I mean, I got to do what I got to do to get by. $25 a digit. Let me put it up here.
Thank you. Josh? Can I say Josh or Joshua?
Josh or Joshua, just don't call me late to dinner. So that's my name. Just send me a text. You don't have to necessarily on WhatsApp because I'm not on that very often other than the day that we do this.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So that's that. If I can't answer your question, I will try. But that's that. So I appreciate you both, and y'all have a good rest of the week. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion to end the class?
Yes.
Yes.
So I've had a motion. I've had first by Edith, and it was seconded by Enrique. And according to Robert's Rules of Order, we need to take a vote. All in favor, manifest by the uplifted right hand. If you approve. So far, I only have one person. I've had 2 hands go up. JC, the vote was in the affirmative. The meeting is hereby adjourned. Y'all have a good evening, okay?
Thank
Okay,
you.
you too. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Be safe. Bye.
Yes.